Why wouldn't you just carry the food on its own?
Well, you know, I like to make it a challenge.
Hello. You've caught me thinking about people who, straight away, play video games on hard mode. What's wrong with you?
I've seen them doing it, hard moders. As soon as they start a new game, the first thing they do is glide right past the easy and normal options.
Yeah, it's called normal for a reason.
And head straight to hard, or harder, or impossible, or nightmare, or whatever the game wants to call that mode, where it repeatedly kills you for 10 hours or so until you get lucky that one time and progress. I mean, to be honest, respect to you people who have the patience for this kind of thing. Personally, if I've died more than twice at the same spot, I'm jumping straight on the blame the game bandwagon and riding it all the way to angry Tweetville.
There are gamers out there, however, who love hard mode and who won't play anything else because they want to feel as though they've achieved something more.
And if that makes your video game soup taste all the sweeter, then kudos to you, I guess. I don't understand you, but I respect you. People who love nothing more than to come up against a boss for the first time and have it obliterate their health bar with one flick of a Lovecraftian eyelid. Who punch the air in elation having slogged their way through an explosive encounter after having punched their pillows in frustration on the 37 previous attempts. Who see dying as learning instead of, like me, a source of white-hot rage.
Hard moders there. Entry 1 on our list of 7 types of gamer we've all encountered at some point.
Next up, we've got side questers. Now, I'll put my hand straight up and admit to being one of these. These are people that look at a world map and can't ignore all the question marks. People that can't walk past a distressed NPC without fiddling with their waypoint. It doesn't matter if the Dark Lord of Everything is about to summon half a star system's worth of asteroids to obliterate the planet. Side questers will drop everything to help out.
Oh, I've got so much to do.
Traveller, could you help me find my lost sheep?
Of course.
You will? You actually will help me find my Fluffy? She's a prize winner, you know. I'm so proud of her. I don't know why I was taken over to that dragon's cave. It was such a foolish thing to do, and I've asked so many travellers for help, and they just won't. And now I've met a traveller who will help, and I can't believe it. Oh, I'm going to give her all the hugs. She's so fluffy, that's what I call her.
Entry 3 is the JRPG Fanatic. There's usually one in every friendship group. I was the one in mine, surprise, surprise. And spare a thought for these poor, misunderstood gamers, will you? All we want is for you to share in the unbridled joy that comes with taking it in turns to hit sentient mushrooms for a few hours until you reach a high enough level to take it in turns to hit the giant sentient mushroom, and then move on to the next town on a world map with impossibly calming ambient music, all while becoming heavily invested in a histrionic teen romance while simultaneously dreaming up fan fiction involving both the protagonist and the impossibly handsome final boss?
What? You're doing the I can feel your look. It's the look all my friends used to give me at school.
That sort of quizzical look that says, why don't you just play Shoot the Cool Gun 6 like us normal people? If, like me, you're a JRPG fanatic, I bet you've also had to field really irritating questions from your parents.
Why don't you just hit him?
I'm about to.
Well, do it now.
I have to wait until my bar fills up first.
Why didn't he fight back?
Because it wasn't his turn to fight back.
What do all those numbers mean?
Those are my experience points.
Why?
Next up, we've got the Trophy Hunter. Scroll down your PSN friends list. They'll be there. 11 platinums, 6 platinums, 4 platinums, 0 platinums. What the flipping heck?
133 platinums. 133! And they're not even Lego games.
Trophy hunters, gamers who will wring games out like bling-soaked flannels, squeezing every last drop of bronze, silver and gold into their virtual cabinets. Trophy hunters will do things like tying an elastic band around their DualShock so a character can still run about in circles while they go and have lunch, or leave their console on overnight for a trophy that asks you to play a certain amount of hours, or create characters they have no intention of using to farm extra materials.
Or, if they're going for the platinum in Ni no Kuni 2, they'll subject themselves to 50 skirmishes, which, let me tell you, takes a level of willpower I'm not sure I'd have mustered were I not also a number 3 on this list.
Trophy hunters are patient. They're determined. They're economical, combing trophy lists to work out how best to pop that platinum in as few playthroughs as possible.
And they're really big fans of Telltale games.
Number 5. The spoiler. Now, there are different subclasses of spoiler. There's the well-intentioned spoiler. These gamers will share end-game screenshots on Twitter because they simply can't contain their excitement at having finished a game. They will, for instance, enthusiastically message their friends about exciting story developments without realising they are developments their friends still haven't got to.
I had a Game of Thrones spoiled for me like that, the book, that is, not the show. I read it 15 years ago because I'm better than you.
My idiot mate was all like, "What page are you on? Have you got to the bit where..."
Major Game of Thrones Season 1 spoilers incoming.
"The bit where Ned dies yet?"
No, I haven't got to that bit yet.
Then there is the malicious spoiler, the type that lurks in the comments on YouTube videos right after a game has come out to ruin it for everyone else. And then there are people like this guy, the accidental Jimmy spoilers. Everyone knows a Jimmy spoiler. Be warned, he's literally going to spoil something right now.
So how far are you lot into Ni no Kuni 2 then?
No, I don't want to hear about it.
How far?
It doesn't matter how far I am. I don't want to know anything about it.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Yes, you are. You always do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do!
Look, lads, I promise I'm not going to spoil anything. Okay? Right? All I was going to say was it blew my mind when that kid with blue hair turned out to be your son.
Entry 6. The Master of One. The Master of One only plays one game. Over and over. All day, all night. New games come out, the Master of One does not care. The Master of One doesn't have time to dabble in anything other than the one. The Master of One wants to be the very best, to reach a level of skill where the controller becomes part of the body itself, where the game can be played seemingly by thought alone.
The Master of One will own you at their chosen game. Completely and utterly own you.
They'll be right at the top of the global leaderboards. The game will be the last thing they think about at night and the first thing they think about in the morning. They'll have a training schedule. They'll do in-game training exercises. If it's a shooter, they'll know how fast it takes every gun to reload. They'll identify each weapon just from the sound it makes. They'll know every inch of every map.
They'll be absolutely rubbish at everything else.
Our final entry, the Unfinisher. Hello me, once again. The Unfinisher is the polar opposite of the Master of One. If you're an Unfinisher like me, you'll know this pain. You'll start a new game,
Often after 3 hours of sitting on the sofa, staring into space, trying to decide what to play, because unfinishers are also undeciders.
You'll start a new game and you'll tell yourself, I am going to finish this game. It's a game I've been looking forward to for ages. It's going to be brilliant, and you play it and it is brilliant. And oh my god, you look forward to coming home every day so you can slump down on the sofa, turn on your PS4 and play. Play and play and play, and you're 30 hours in now. You've done maybe 2 story missions because you're also a side quester, but that's a lot of time to invest. You're in for the long haul now. There's no way anything else is going to come along and disrupt. Oh my god, God of War is out!
And then the same thing happens to God of War. You play for ages, and another new thing comes out.
And you just can't resist the shiny new thing. Everyone's talking about it on Twitter. You have to play it now, otherwise what if you get Jimmy spoiled? And so the Unfinisher's pile of shame grows and grows and grows. Maybe a year later, the Unfinisher will go back to what they started. They'll have forgotten everything that happened in the story. They'll die lamely and helplessly against a run-of-the-mill enemy because they've forgotten how to switch weapons or crouch or run. And with deep regret, they'll put down the controller, knowing the game will remain forever unfinished. Tragic. And so there we are, 7 types of gamer we've all encountered at some point. Which one are you? You're probably more than one. Tell us in the comments. Let us know if you can think of any more types of gamer. And join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.